Okay, so I welcome you all formally again to this course, Financial Management. And you can see that in YAMC, we have a course code for every course. You don't have to learn it. All you need to know is that your course name is Financial Management. This course is basically a judicious combination of theory and application. And as I said before that, I'm fond of theories a lot. Reason, for me, theory is not something about very bombastic or very, you don't have to learn about Einstein or Newton things all the time. That is not the theory about. For me, theory is about common sense. Whenever we use common sense, we use theory. All right, so that's why I believe in theories, but at the same time, as I mentioned before, that every theory you learn will be supported by an example. So there would be a real life example. And in case I forget, please remind me that, can you give some examples about this theory? And believe me, I'll find out. This is the room where we are meeting, but the room may change. So every time you come, to avoid disappointment, check your Elmo calendar. In your Elmo, you know Elmo? You will see your schedule, daily, weekly, all right, monthly. So you can see that which course you have on a given day and which course is where, so that you are not lost. The learning outcomes of this course is that you should be, after this completion of the course, you are able to understand, explore, and analyze the different aspects of corporate sector. So it's very important that before you study the finance, you should also know more about how the corporate sector behaves, which concepts are concerned about the investors, the finance managers. The financial risk is what you face on daily basis and how you manage that risk, how you make financial risk management. It's very important. You can be a small company based in Uvascula, no exports, no imports, or you can be a big multinational company like Coke and Pepsi, which has operations in nearly 150 countries in the world. You all are exposed to financial risk. There's no company, no country which is immune to this global financial risk. The question is that the problem is not that we have risk. The problem is when we don't do their management. Management means we don't know how to take care of those risks. That is when the problem starts. In this course, you will be learning how the big companies or the small companies make their financial risk management strategies. Okay. You will also study how you can evaluate a company. In this course, I shall assume that you are not students. I shall assume, and I'm saying this big word, I shall assume that you are the fund manager trainee. So you are getting training as a fund managers. And I'm your trainer, not a teacher. So I would be assuming that after the completion of this course, that is after the completion of your training, you would be working as the fund manager, where you will be taking care of the wealth of people in millions of dollars or euros. You can't afford to lose it. All right. So your training should be as immaculate, as perfect as possible. Okay. So that's very important that you don't see yourself as a student, because this is why you will be doing an presentation here at the end of the course. You know, it's not fully exam-based course. 50% is exam. The reason I have exam, it's an old-fashioned way, but many people said, why do you have exam? The reason is that I want you to express yourself. Expressions are very important. How you think. When I call you for the presentation, you will be in a rush of blood. You know, oh my God, how to make a presentation, right? But when you are doing exam, you have an hour and a half, 1.5 hours to express your thoughts, your knowledge, your understanding. So that's why I'm proud to be a little bit old-fashioned that way, that I want to have exam. But when you come for the presentation here as a group, that is when you are showing me your calculation, what you understand from that. And if you want to give some consultancy to a customer, what would you say based on your findings? Discussion forum, I said, is very important. Unless you have any personal matters, as I said, in the discussion forum, everything is visible to everybody. But if you have any personal issues about course, personal academic issues, of course you can email me, or if there is some kind of emergency, you can call me as well. But if something is general, common, routine nature, then use discussion forum. The problem is that if just for a normal thing, if you write me an email, I get almost 60 to 70 emails a day. So probably it will be lost somewhere. Okay, so use the discussion forum. Of course, if something is confidential, you can email me, no problem. One thing I would say that I saw your names. If possible, please upload your pictures also so that I can see you who's who. Yeah, some of you have done already. It's nice that you can also upload your photos so that it's easy for me to recognize. The course learning outcome. In Young, we use the principles of education. And those principles of education that we provide are called intended learning outcomes. We call them ILOs, intended learning outcomes. There are several. But in this course, I'm going to use 3 ILOs, the intended learning outcomes. Intended learning outcome shows that what exactly are expected from this course. Is the study material I give you according to these expectations? Am I teaching you according to these expectations? And are you working according to these expectations? So this is sort of academic discipline we all need to follow, all right? And I follow 3 clauses. The first is KU1. KU stands for knowledge and understanding, okay? And the first clause says, able to employ theoretical and conceptual knowledge to identify and analyze business problem in global context. All right, I expect that at the end of this course, you will be able to employ your bookish, conceptual, theoretical knowledge to identify a real life business problem in the global context. I gave an example to you here, which you can go through, all right? But you will also do that, that you will find out, you'll do some research and you find out that there exists some problem and how we can solve it, okay? I strongly recommend you that you should go through each of these ILOs by yourself. It's very important that you go through it, all right? I can't go through it word by word here, right? But it's for you to have a look at it. The second ILO which we employ is that identify and place into practice information-based decision-making approaches to business and managerial problem. Information is very important. Do you believe it? We are living in the age of information. But the problem is that too much information can make you confused. So you need to place the information in some context or relevance. When I was of your age, studying in India, we didn't have computers then. For us, the only way was the old-fashioned books and do the calculation manually. We used to suffer from a problem called lack of information. But you people have a different problem. You people suffering from too much of information, right? Do you get my point? For you, for people like me, the problem used to be what to study or what to believe. Your problem is that, hey, there is so much of data, so much of information, what not to believe. For instance, I didn't have the luxury of computer and Googling financial risk, for example. If you type in financial risk, you can have hundreds of articles available. But then your problem is that, are all articles which you have through this search engine, are they reliable? Are they relevant? You can have tons and tons of articles, but they may be junk. It may not be useful to you. All right. So it's very important that you have the information from various channels. That is the whole idea of KU2, that you get so much of information, but it's very important that you are ranking that information qualitatively. Okay, this information is the best. This information is somewhat supplementary, but not the main one. And then you are able to apply that information to solve some business problem. Like what you will do in this course. You will be analyzing the stock market data of companies. And based on that, you will be calculating how much you earn and at what risk you earn. All right. And then you give a solution to your client, because I assume that you are my trainee wealth managers. And then you give a solution to your client that, hey, in this portfolio, return is huge. Congratulations. This portfolio can make you very rich, but the problem is that the risk is huge. What is your mindset? Are you willing to take risk in search of more profits, more gains, or you can be happy with the low return, but at the same time, not too much of risk? And then your client says, I think I'm of the second category. I like to have lots of money, but also I'm scared of risk. And then you say, all right, fine, we'll take these companies away, invest in this company, don't invest in this, but invest in that. That is hopefully come up to your expectations. So what you do, you have a problem. The problem is what? To make your client happy. And how do you make the client happy? You get the information from different channels, different companies, analyze it, and then draw some results, conclusions, and then you say that, hey, this portfolio is not meant for you, but I think this portfolio is good for you. So you will be applying your knowledge and understanding to solve the real life business problems, especially in the financial markets, and even more especially in the stock exchange. And then the third ILO, the intended learning outcome, which I follow, is you are able to interpret and analyze complex business issues from multiple perspectives and critical review relevant information resource. By the way, IS means intellectual skills. Look, knowledge, understanding, and intellect. Do you think are these three things same? Knowledge, understanding, and intellectual skills. What do you think? Let's have some discussion about it. What do you think is knowledge and understanding and intellectual skills? I can. These are the course contents which we shall be covering. So you can see that I will not talk about them. Some of my students are working on now fintech. So the fintech is the new addition to this course, which we study towards the end. The course material would be the slides, the case study spreadsheets, as I showed you already in the subfolders. Textbooks are here, even though I must say that most of the emphasis which I lay is basically on the lecture slides, which I give. But of course, there are many books in the library. There are hard copies, there are ebooks, so there are tons and tons of information. Have you gone through your library session where you seek the information? I think soon you will have a session whereby you will be trained how to get the information from the library, okay? How to search for the articles or the books in the library. These are some of the websites I shall be using quite often to you in the class. There would be an exam, all right? The exam is 50% of your grades, and the exam will be held on 21st of May, 2019. And this is a closed book exam for an hour and a half, all right? And as you can see that even in the exam, I want to test three things. I want to test your knowledge and understanding 1, knowledge and understanding 2, and I want to test your intellectual skills. So I not only focus on these 3 principles in the class, but I will also use them when I assess you. They will be in the exam also. Okay. So when you write the answer, I want to see that do you understand these 3 things properly or not. Okay. But don't get scared. With the time, things will become clear. The second part is the group discussion. The group presentation which you have. As you know that the group presentation is that you will be making the groups, okay? And you will be, and by the way, in the discussion forum, when I sent you the message that form your groups, I also wrote that just follow that same message thread. So don't write a don't make a new message, just follow the existing thread. And please let me know that who are your group members. And this carries 40%, and your presentations will be held on 14th of May. But by 13th of May, 2019 by noon, your file should be uploaded here in this folder, in this. All right. So that this box will close automatically on 13th of May by noon. And then 14th of May is your presentation. Okay, so make sure that you don't miss the deadlines. And then 10% of your grades. Sorry, let me explain how will you be doing it. Well, you'll be making a group of 4 to 5 people, but we agreed already that 3 is also fine. You'll be doing some calculations, and there'll be around 10 tasks. And all the calculation you'll be doing in Excel. You don't have to write anything in Word or in PowerPoint. The calculations would be in Excel, and all the comments, all the interpretations, all the conclusions which you draw should also be in Excel, right? The reason is that I want to avoid multiple files. Because if you read in Word and show calculation in Excel, when you come for the presentation here, you'll be having 10 minutes to present. You'll be lost in multiple files. So I want that everything should be in one file. All right. You'll be having 10 to 12 minutes of presentation, followed by 2 to 3 minutes of discussion. Your calculation should be discussed in the light of theories, of course, the concepts. I suggest to you that you should rehearse. There have been some situations, unpleasant situations, when students came here, started presenting. They never did the rehearsal before. They were lost, completely lost. All right. Remember, it's like a gig. It's like a concert. You are presenting in front of the audience. All right. And if you just come here, use your USB stick, start presenting, believe me, you'll be lost. You will not keep track of time also. So make sure that when you are making the actual presentation, before that, you should have rehearsed it a few times. Do some practice a few times. Look at the time, see that, is it fine? Ask your friends, could you find fault? Where should I improve? Where I'm lacking? Yeah. Is my voice clear? All right. Am I repeating too much? What can I do to get the better grades? Can you judge me based on KU1, KU2, and likewise? All right. It's nice. It's a very serious business. So make sure that you come well prepared. Slides should be numbered, visible. So just follow some normal netiquettes. Okay. And by the way, you all have to be present. For instance, somebody falls sick or there's a problem, then I would ask that student to come and see me separately. So I would do the whole assessment separately. But if you, for example, are 4 students, then all 4 have to be here. I will not give grades to the student who is at home. You can say that, oh yes, this student have done most of the work, he made the slides, blah blah blah. Unfortunately, he couldn't come. Well, I don't have any proof to see it. All right, come here and make a presentation. And one more thing, I normally give same grades to all the group members. But imagine 4 of you come and I asked you, do this task, do this task, do this task. Out of 4, 1 speak little bit, fumble, not clear. 1 has remained quiet throughout. I can't give you grades just being standing here. So make sure that you all are equally participating. If not equal, you don't have to measure time that, hey, I took 30 seconds, you take 30 seconds. No, it should be visible that all of you are making contribution to the discussion. All right. There have been some cases when 4 people came and I did not give them same grades to all 4 of them because 2 were really outstanding and 2 were saying nothing. It's very important that you are in a position. Remember, in the financial world, you do have to marketing also. In what way? If you are not able to contact your investors, or if you don't know how to contact them, they will not come to you. They will find some other fund. They will take money away from your shop and go and invest from some other fund manager. So it's very important for you to communicate, to talk. And this exercise, one purpose is that you are in a position to talk to a group of people. That is why I'm saying that come prepared, do some rehearsal before you come. But don't worry, now it's in May. I strongly recommend you that the group leader make sure that be a little bit tough master. If you are in a group of 4 people and a friend is saying, can you do my work? Can you do my calculations? Can you find? It's okay 1 or 2 times, but don't let this practice go continuous. In fact, if you are helping too much your friends, you are not helping them. Make sure that everybody works. And if there's a problem within the group, come and talk to me. Okay? You don't have to fight with somebody. And then your remaining 10% grades depend upon your discussion forum activities. At the end of the course, I would see how many of you have been active on the discussion forum. By activity, I mean that how many new messages you started, how often you reply. You get my point? I want to see your activity on the forum. For example, today I shared some articles with you. You can also find some articles, some information which you think is important. You can share with your friends. Or if some of your friend is saying that, what is meant by risk in finance? Shab said, but I could not get it. And then you answer, by risk, it means that there is some uncertainty. The stock price go up and down rapidly. All right, good, you're helping. I like it. So I see this activity. All right. And please make sure that, well, I can see many computers, but please make sure that when you come here, you don't, well, ideally, I would require that each of you bring your own computer, but if you can sit in a way that you can share computers, it will not be a bad idea. All right, because here you'll be doing many tasks here right in front of me. So it's good that you have access to the computer. You can bring by sharing, like you can ask your friend to bring one week and the next week you can bring. But it's even better if you have your own computers. All right, so this is the course description thing, which I thought I should share with you. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to ask. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this